Hello and welcome to the first and maybe last episode of Real Fake News, where we tell you some of the stories that are happening from around the world. Let's start with some quickfire news. Children's names, pictures and addresses have been stolen in a nursery chain hack. Officers have been out to question the key suspect in the investigation, the singer David. The President of the United States and leader of the free world was beaten by an escalator, but at least nobody at the press overreacted about what happened.
The escalators weren't even working. Trump and Melania were riding it up, and it just stopped. The First Lady lost her balance a bit, but steadied herself, thankfully, and then marched to the top. She could have been hurt.
A raccoon is pulled over in a traffic stop and seen doing meth.
Here.
Hello?
The raccoon has her meth pipe.
As what?
Oh my god.
Her meth pipe. He's playing with the meth pipe right now.
I don't have a joke for that one, that's just... It also pulled out a second meth pipe as well, which I think is pretty telling of what's going on. Fox News reporter reveals his favourite nickname for Donald Trump.
Daddy's not happy.
And GBN News reveal new slogan for Viagra.
It's all willy-wonty, really.
Well, in the UK, PM Kier, seen here measuring how much freedom he's going to take away from the public, is expecting to announce plans for a new compulsory digital ID scheme. Was porn not enough? One of his latest bills passed made it so you would need an ID to goon. A goon policy. The policy was put in place under the Internet Safety Act to protect children from harmful things online, which I think is great, when done correctly. Sadly, this photo here is also him measuring how much he fucked up. Giving your ID to the government so you're allowed to watch your favourite porn is embarrassing enough, but shockingly, it's not even the government who are handling the ID process. It's third-party companies based in God knows where doing that. So just to make it clear, you have to prove your age to a foreign company to be able to watch your favourite porn. Mine, for example, is the man who fucks himself category, also known as Donald Trump. The policy was also a big failure because nothing, and I mean nothing, will get between a teenage boy and brazzers. That's a bond as unbreakable as Elon Musk and Donald Trump's love affair. I mean, sure, one of them basically said that the other was on the Epstein files, but hey, what relationships don't have hiccups? And just like this hiccup for teenage boys, they found a way around it with VPNs. The Internet Safety Act policy is also just a breach of freedom, because sure, it's porn today that the government's blocking from us, but what if tomorrow it's music, television, or the news? That seems like a big breach of free speech. Now, I haven't had to upload a photo of my ID to watch porn, because if I want to see a giant, gaping arsehole, I'll just look to Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage, the common working man who's a millionaire, who is privately educated, and whose partner is a French politician, the man who fought so hard against Brexit, and for us to get out of Europe, dating a French politician. That's a bit like if Winston Churchill had a secret love affair with Hitler. It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, he's decided, in all his glory, to scrap the indefinite leave to remain scheme. Indefinite leave to remain is an immigration status granted to a person who does not hold the right of abode in the United Kingdom, but who has been admitted to the UK without any time limit on their stay, and who is free to take up employment, engage in business, self-employment, or study. Now, with such a serious policy, which could remove 800,000 people from the UK who currently are waiting to get the indefinite leave to remain, it's a big task. And with such a big task, you have to have a solid, foolproof plan. So what about those pesky other people who are currently under the indefinite leave to remain scheme? What happens to them?
And we just don't know.
Well, how many people are we looking at here?
We don't know because the figures aren't available.
Well, what do we know?
What we do know is that 1 in 6 claimants of universal credit alone today, 1 in 6 is a foreign-born national.
Now that is shocking, Farage. How does your foreign-born national partner feel on the issue?
And we just don't know.
Sure, it's all looking a little bleak over here, but luckily, things in America are somehow worse. Last week, Jimmy Kimmel Live was taken off the air and put on suspension for his remarks about the death of Charlie Kirk.
It was over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from.
Horrifying stuff. Definitely enough to get somebody taken off the air. Definitely enough. After this clip surfaced, Donald Trump had something to say.
It'd be only bad publicity for the press. I mean, they're getting a license. I would think maybe their license should be taken away. It would be up to Brendan Carr.
Put that into simpler terms. Say a bad thing about me, bad things happen to you. Some would say that's a violation of free speech, and it clearly is. Luckily, Trump has made his opinion on free speech very clear in the past.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that.
Trump may be threatening ABC, but at least Brendan Carr, the head of the FCC, who, let me remind you, is definitely not influenced by the government, as that would be a clear breach of free speech if the government got to control the media and what people saw on their screens, had this to say.
Changes that we've seen, but frankly, when you see stuff like this, I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Brendan Carr there seen acting like he's in The Godfather. So ABC folded under the pressure, but recently Kimmel returned to ABC and stood his ground against Brendano Mafioso, and the president had this to say on the matter. I can't believe ABC fake news gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back. I think we're going to test ABC out on this. Let's see how they do. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds even more lucrative. A true bunch of losers. Let Jimmy Kimmel rot in his bad ratings. We're going to test ABC, he says. All this is a call for Trump's attack dog, Brendan Carr, to do Trump's bidding for him and shut down things that Trump doesn't like. And speaking of bad ratings, watch this, knobhead. 39% approve, 56% disapprove. Looks like your ratings aren't doing too well either. But here, at least Kimmel doesn't run an entire country. But you do. Trump also went to the UN, as we know, as he was stopped by an escalator. Maybe the escalator knew something that we didn't know, as this is what Trump had to say in front of other world leaders at the UN meeting.
I'm really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell.
That's the equivalent of inviting all your friends round and individually telling all of them why you fucking hate them. It doesn't seem good. It's a bit scary that the man just walks onto the stage and decides, yeah, by the way, all your places, they suck, they're shit. My place though, hey, look around, my place good, your place bad. But it's true, Trump is good at stuff. With many people living in fear that ICE is going to take them and deport them, abortion's becoming illegal, and having free speech being taken away from the media, he is very good at this stuff. If this stuff was a manifesto written by Vladimir Putin. The wars that Trump's talking about ending, at least that's some good.
Azerbaijan and Albania as an example. It was going on for years.
Ah yes, the famous war between Albania and Azerbaijan. But wait a minute. Those countries are very, very far apart. There never was a war between those countries. Could the president have mistaken Albania for Armenia? No. Surely not. But how did he end this war?
If you remember, the prime minister and the presidents, they were there for many years. They said, when they were in my office, we settled. And they started off at both sides of the Oval Office, so far away. I didn't know you could be so far away. And as we were together for an hour, they kept getting closer, closer. And by the time we finished, we all hugged each other.
That's not how you end a war. That sounds like the start of the worst porno ever. Donald in the middle. And even if I wanted to watch this porno, I couldn't because of this bell end. That's it for tonight. If I can leave you with 3 messages, it's this. Don't get on an escalator. Never offend mob boss Brendan Carr. And don't give in to our government's taking away free speech. Or we're all going to have to start calling Kier Starmer this.
Daddy's not happy.
Good night.